Happy Monday, everyone.
Happy Monday.
We are at our usual time, our usual day, and our usual hosts for a change.
Crazy.
Crazy. It's good to see everyone. Hope you had a lovely weekend. I hope you had a better weekend than I did. Uh,
Yes. But
yeah.
also, happy birthday.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone who gave me birthday wishes. It was overwhelming on my social media, so thank you so
That's
much.
great.
I really appreciate that, everyone. Starting with Michael Bingham, who was one of the first to wish me a
Ah,
happy birthday.
the best.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Michael went to the UOAP party on Friday night, and I am so sorry that I did not see you there. I had a reservation for it, but I wound up attending vicariously via social media. I
Yes,
did
as
not
did
end up
we
going.
all.
I heard. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts, Michael. I heard a lot of good things. There, it kind of much like the UOAP Facebook group. It was a lot of people saying really wonderful, warm, positive UO fist bump type things. Equally split with people complaining.
Yeah.
So,
You know what?
uh,
I'm not a doom scroller, but the UOAP Facebook group, I will never quit you because it is the entertainment that provides me is just
popcorn.
like, I try not to seek out negativity online, but it is hilarious. Highly
Uh,
recommend if you are not in it to join it.
yeah, yeah.
Unhinged.
Uh, in Derek Ho's corner, Blossom and Michelangelo. Welcome as always. Thank you, Vince Lamb, for joining us. And Brian Sager wondering if we got our Beetlejuice tickets yet. I have not. I'm not. I don't really pre-purchase movie tickets.
Yeah.
Uh, more than like an hour ahead of time. I never know what's my life's gonna be. But it sounds like Denny's is dropping a Beetlejuice menu. So
I
that
did
should
see
be. I
teasers
haven't
of
I
that.
haven't eaten at a Denny's in a long time.
Yeah, probably 30
So
years.
yeah, right. And thank you for the happy birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Uh, Reese Mullen checking in. Hey there, Reese. And Michael on that UAP party says the first hour was really rough, getting yelled at from families without wristbands. Other than that, it was a fun night.
I did read about that in
Uh,
the group. Yeah.
yeah. That and the lack of food. Places open for food were the
Yeah.
two biggest complaints I heard. But I hope everyone was able to still have
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, I can tell you if I was a team member making as much as I would make, I am not yelling at people without wristbands because that is beyond my jurisdiction. And it is not their job to, be on the lookout for the wristbands. There needs to be a better system because I wouldn't
Yeah,
want to put myself in danger of fighting with a guest. Let's just say that.
I applaud Universal doing something for their pass holders, giving something away that they don't have to.
Right.
But I feel like every time they do one of these things, there are logistical and organizational things from the registration process right
Yeah.
through the check-in process that, it's not their first rodeo. Like some of this stuff they could have listened to the feedback that they've
Right.
done, because a lot of these same complaints happened the last time they had a pass holder before event
Exactly.
before COVID. Nothing's changed.
Right.
So like, take the notes, read the complaints, and actually do something differently. I don't know. Crazy thought. Anyway, before we burn all of our good snark on the pre-show, maybe we should get started and kick this thing off. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do this thing in 3, 2.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. I am Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we're here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news, as well as what's going on in our own lives. Carly, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I did something fun, but before I get into that, happy birthday.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all of the happy birthday wishes from everyone that just flooded my social. I spent like an hour and a half just saying thank you to people, so I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um, did not have quite the birthday that I planned on. We had a little illness in our household, so we stayed home on the couch and watched some old movies and recuperated. And I'll celebrate my birthday next week, maybe.
Well, you know what? You're going somewhere very fun
I am.
soon,
Yes, I've
so I
yes,
say
I've
that's
got to.
continuation.
I got to rest and heal up before California and Japan, and I will be gone for a few episodes, but I'm sure I'll have lots to talk about when I get back.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. I cannot wait to live vicariously through that trip. Oh, I yeah, so I crossed something off my bucket list, a place I've been wanting to
Yes,
go to for so long.
I
I
want to
went
hear.
Yes, I went over the rainbow to the land of Oz.
All
Oh,
right. For people who don't know what this is, can you just briefly describe
yeah.
what, where, and what this magical place is?
Yes. Okay. So this is the intersection of two of my favorite things, theme parks and abandoned. Long story short, I definitely encourage you to go down the rabbit hole and look it up. But it was a theme park in the mountains of North Carolina that was open from 1970 to 1980. Basically, you go on the Yellow Brick Road, you go through the whole movie, and they had memorabilia, like original, real memorabilia
Hmm.
from the film. So cool, just so magical. Not exactly rides per se. They did have a balloon ride, just like in the iconic send off at the end of the film,
Hmm.
but more like an immersive experience. And sadly, it went on fire because it's literally built into a mountain. You know, they use the natural everything there to be a part of it, and it went on fire. Financial trouble, so it closed in 1970. But then years later, okay, so if you work there, you were called an Aussie, which I just love. An Aussie. So passionate people, Aussies, they came together and they were like, let's keep the spirit of Land of Oz alive. And now, flash forward, that's what's known as Autumn at Oz. So basically, the park sits there in the mountain, closed all year long.
Mm.
Then every September, it opens up for just a few days. Tickets sell out. Like Saturdays are already sold out this year. And they bring back the spirit of the Land of Oz. You know, they go through, they paint the thousands of yellow brick road. So I got to go through as they were working on it. So I didn't see
Oh wow!
an
Because if
immersive theater
I
experience.
can't imagine, to leave a theme park abandoned for 11 months out of the year and then try to bring it back to life and make it beautiful. Like how much labor that must take to
Right.
clean that thing up every year.
Absolutely. And I learned, like when I went there, we saw them, they were literally building things, painting
Mm.
things, met the owners. They're fourth generation landowners from the area. So they obviously have that vested interest. This
Hmm.
is a special place, but if it was in the wrong hands of people that didn't really understand the history, so many generations have been visiting,
Hmm.
people still go. So I got to walk through. Basically, it's literally on a mountain. It is really crazy. You either take a chairlift up or you drive up. And you go through the story from the movie. So you start in Gale family farmhouse. It's a full house. You go through, you see their house. Then you're in the tornado, Munchkin land, et cetera, the poppy field. And it's pretty long. Like just the Yellow Brick Road alone is 0.75 miles.
Wow.
And so I didn't actually do, so it'll open in September. I'm going to go back
Uh-huh.
and do the full thing. So
Oh,
in groups.
so happy you're gonna get to see
Yeah,
it.
I
The
can't wait.
characters and everything. Yeah.
So basically, this was a great way to get an idea. So it's immersive theater. At each stop, there's performers and a show. So there's a Dorothy. She sings Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Then you meet the Tin Man at the next stop, and so on and so forth. And just from what I saw, it was so cool. We met this year's Dorothy. She was fantastic. She had the, skip down the yellow brick road so perfectly. It is
Awesome.
really cool. I cannot wait to go back and experience the full thing. Highly recommend if you've ever wanted to go. It is in a beautiful place. It's not far from Asheville, those other mountain towns. So we're going to make like a whole weekend out of it and just do some outdoorsy stuff, some breweries and restaurants. But Land of Oz, NC.com, get tickets. It is so cool. I am so happy. Lived up to the hype. a lot of people dress up. So even when I went to the preview, the most dressing up I did was wear red Converse because that was all that I had that kind of fit in, which was perfect. But a lot of
Mm.
people do dress up. So I think when I go do the real deal, it's going to be very cool.
I am so excited for you. I
Thank
know
you.
we've talked before about an Oz land coming to a theme park, and there have been
Yep.
lots of plans for full Oz theme parks over the years elsewhere. But I can't imagine anything like having that homemade, hands-on, handcrafted feel like that
Yeah.
place.
Oh, absolutely. And like a lot of it burned down in the
Mhm.
1980 incident, but they still were able to preserve some stuff. So there's some of the original Yellow Brick Road that they'll point
Ah,
out. One of the original, so there was a hot air balloon ride where you go in. One of them survived, and they have
oh,
that up at the end. You get to see it. There's some original houses from Munchkin Land. So they did a really nice job of preserving that history.
amazing. Well, I am very excited for you, and I am excited for me to finally get out of the house because it's been a long weekend
Yes.
inside. But without any further ado, it is time for us to jump into a little news in the queue. Okay, we are going to start off at Universal Orlando, where they have brought back something that they had years ago in a new format, and that is a dining plan of a kind. If you sign up for a Universal Orlando vacation package from November 7th through April 10th, you can take advantage of this new offer that can give you a dining card worth up to $1,000 to eat and drink your way around Universal.
Yes,
Uh,
this is very cool. We love seeing these dining plans come. And,
yeah,
obviously there's stipulations. It's usually not discounted rooms and
yeah, yeah.
whatnot. But if you want that like sort of semi all-inclusive feel, prepay stuff, there's definitely value in peace of mind.
Yes. We saw this with Disney, at the kind of getting rid of their dining plans and then starting to bring them back. And Universal hasn't had any kind of dining plan for many years now. They used to have like a prepaid one where you would get unlimited meals. That's not coming back. But we are getting is an offer that if you book a vacation stay of 4 to 5 nights with 4 or 5 days park to park admission tickets, you can get a gift card or rather a dining card that is good not on merchandise or tickets but good on food at most locations throughout the resort. There are some qualifications and exclusions. You can use this at sit down restaurants and City Walk and in the parks, at the quick service locations, and in a lot of places in the hotels. But be aware that it's not working with mobile order, which
Which
is
is
really a
crazy to
shame.
me because they are
They,
pushing mobile order so hard. We've talked about it before.
yeah,
They push, push, push. They don't let you go in. You have to be paying cash. So it's so interesting that they're
it's long been one of my gripes that Universal mobile order is not terrible, but it's got a lot of like ease of use functions that just fall behind Disney's system. Like you have to scan in your annual pass every single time you want an annual pass discount. It can't
Mhm.
store that.
Right.
And it also does not take gift cards. So if you want to use mobile order, you are out of luck with this offer. You also that means you can't use it at any place that is mobile order only. For example, Blondie's at IOA.
Yes, that was really interesting. Obviously, in room, the rest of the exemptions are not bad like I said, with the mobile ordering. So, for example, because I've used a gift card at Minion Cafe, which is a
Mhm.
location that they really push
Yes.
using mobile order. If you go up and tell them, "Hey, I have to use a gift card," they'll let you in and go to the kiosk. So it's
Absolutely.
really actually very easy. And
Yeah.
a lot of times it's quicker because even at the Harry Potter restaurants, they'll let you go up to the counter, you swipe your gift card. It's really fine. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just finding the right person to let
Yeah.
you in. And, other exclusions like Palm, Beach A, those are third party owned restaurants, so it's fine. But other than that, I mean, you can't get in-room pizza delivery. Okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, that matters after Halloween Horror Nights.
Well, you know what? They do have late night food because I have done it in Cabana Bay last year.
Yes.
Like they have pizza till like 3 a.m.
Yeah,
It's not the best pizza.
it's
but
it's pretty scary. Those chicken wings were kind of
gosh.
terrifying.
Yes.
But you absolutely cannot use these on things like express passes or tickets, or merchandise. So be aware of that before booking this. And as you mentioned, when you get one of these deals, it means that you're not getting whatever special they're running on tickets, or if you were eligible for a hotel discount. So you got to run the math.
Yes,
You
'cause
can
a
do
lot
the
of
numbers
times,
and
yeah.
see which one. And the other thing is, if you end up not using this up and you're not going back to Universal for a long time, there's no, you can't use this over the phone or online. You can't get any kind of cash discount. So it's for a lot of people who are on vacation, it's going to be use it or lose it type situation.
Absolutely, yeah. And and speaking of the rooms, a lot of time if you're a Florida resident or an AP holder, the discounts are so good, so you're probably not going to get value out of that. But again, just like price it out and look at the difference. And then also, I wanted to talk about the dates. So,
yes.
This is from November 7th, 2024 through April 10th, 2025. Now, April 10th, 2025. So they're trying to bring in guests with this promotion through then. Do you think this gives us any inkling as to when Epic Universe may officially open, since we have this promotion running to a very specific time?
I've said before that I think that they are not going to want to set an official opening date for Epic until everything is up and running 100%. They don't want to officially open it with only 3 or 4 lands out of the 5 open. But I would not be shocked to see after April 10th a whole new set of preview packages for Epic Universe starting to come online.
Ooh.
Back when they opened both, when Hogsmeade first opened and when Diagon Alley first opened, there were weeks where the only people who could get inside were those who bought a special preview vacation package. And I would not be shocked to see them rolling out something more like that. But this is definitely, this is a reaction, just like we've seen Disney doing, dining discounts and throwing out, package offers. We just saw the TEA ACOM theme report for 2023 come out, and we saw, a big drop in Universal and kind of a flattening at Disney in attendance in 2023. And from everything we've seen this summer, 2024 looks even softer in the Orlando theme parks than last year. So this is definitely them, I'm not saying it's them hitting the panic button, but definitely wanting to get some revenue on the books for the quarters before Epic Universe starts. So yeah, but I think it is very interesting you point out that April date, because that's kind of also the kickoff of spring break this year, I think. So they usually don't have deep discount things running during spring break because they don't need it. I think spring break is like busier, almost as busy as Christmas these days, and definitely busier than the summer. So these package offers, you can go to Universal Orlando's vacation website, but they run from, if you're staying at one of the top 3 hotels, Portofino, Royal Pacific, or Hard Rock, it's $800 if you stay 4 nights, or $1,000 if you stay 5 nights. And that goes all the way down to Endless Summer, where you get $300 for 4 nights or $400 for 5 nights, sort of a sliding scale depending on the price of the hotel in between. And they've even included Stella Nova and Terra Luna in this offer.
Yes.
So if you want to check out those new hotels that are opening up on January 21st and February 25th, want to be one of the first people to stay there, you can get some money back to spend on dining in their food court there.
Very cool.
Okay, and of course, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can help you book those packages if you are interested.
Yes, which is going to be very helpful next year because I'm sure there's going to be some logistics to figure out if you want to go to Epic Universe.
Absolutely. So we are hopping from Universal Orlando to Walt Disney World, and Peter Pan's flight there in the Magic Kingdom has been down for a refurbishment. It opened a little unexpectedly, a few days ahead of schedule, with a brand new scene portraying the Neverland tribe and Tiger Lily in a much less culturally offensive manner. Um, it is, I think a lot of people were concerned that they were going to tear the characters out of the ride entirely, but they are still there. They have just been updated. And we have a video and pictures on our website showing you the brand new scene.
Yes, the previous version definitely they looked like disgruntled. It was just very
Yes,
stern.
they were very stereotypical, angry Native Americans, or as they say in the very politically incorrect song in the movie, red men.
Correct.
So that is definitely that has been kind of erased, and we've got a new scene, which I think is actually a lot more dynamic because they've
It's
got
so
a
much more
turntable now.
colorful. Yeah.
Um, uh, it now depicts the harvest celebration with Tiger Lily and her great grandmother performing a dance in a circle around the fire. And it's also got a trio who are banging on a ritual drum, and new artwork, new symbols, new costumes that are a lot more culturally appropriate as opposed to a 1950s stereotype.
Oh, absolutely. And it looks I think it looks better.
Yeah.
It's beaming with
It,
color,
yeah.
vibrant.
Yeah, I think they did a really great job of making it fit into the style of the ride. It doesn't like stick out as something that's like from a totally different era. Uh, but it's also not something that's going to make you cringe when you go past it in the ride.
No,
Uh,
exactly. And so the reaction has been really good. People
yeah,
have been really enjoying. And again, it doesn't really take like the heart of what the scene was away.
yeah,
Just brings it up to the
yeah,
temps.
yeah. And I think the fear some people had is, Disney, when sometimes when they're not sure what to do with something, they just get rid of it and ignore it and pretend it never happened. So it's nice to see them, reimagining it and upgrading it rather than just wiping it out.
Oh, for sure. I mean, because I probably, if someone asked me like to bet on it, I would have bet that they just would have gotten rid of it, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But this is good.
Yep. So if you want to see this for yourself, it's back on the Lightning Lane Multipass roster as of today, August 19th. It ran for a couple days in standby because it reopened a little bit early. So you can head over there now and check it out for yourself. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to ride it for myself before I leave for Japan, but I am interested in seeing the version of
Oh,
Tiger Lily and the
oh my
tribe
gosh.
that are in the Tokyo new Peter Pan ride over there.
It's
So
going to be amazing.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. All right. Next up now for something completely different, we're going to 30 Rock in New York, where Jimmy Fallon is getting his own Haunted Maze Halloween experience with the help of the designers of Halloween Horror Nights. They announced this on the Tonight Show the other day, and it is going to be called Jimmy Fallon's Tonightmares.
This was not on my bingo card. Speaking of bingo cards, I mean, it makes sense with all the parties involved. I just would have never guessed this. I mean, haunted immersive experiences aren't a new thing to New York City. I just never would have thought about this.
Well, yeah, it's not new to New York City, but I don't know if they've ever had one down on the ice skating rink level.
Right.
It's this iconic location right next to where Saturday Night Live and the Tonight Show film. And this is going to be running on select nights between September 20th and October 31st. And interestingly, this is a collaboration between Jimmy Fallon and NBC Universal, plus folks from Halloween Horror Nights, but also folks from RWS Global, and those are the ones who are doing the new Fright Fest mazes at Six Flags, a lot of which were like IPs that used to be at
Right.
Universal's Halloween Horror Nights and now going to Six Flags. So it shows you just kind of how incestuous the haunt industry is, the themed
It
industry.
totally
Everyone
is.
works with everyone else. It's all
Oh
a
my!
big
It is
circle.
a very small
Yeah,
industry. They all dip their toe in everything.
yeah. We have some teases of some of the nightmares, apparently all which come out of Jimmy Fallon's personal phobias, that will come to life in this new experience. And they include killer scarecrows, brain hungry zombies, an abandoned gas station in the middle of nowhere,
Ooh.
and also werewolves, aliens, and murderous artificially intelligent robots. So
Ah!
that's a lot to shove into one maze.
But it is
Um,
long.
it
Sort of
is.
longish.
They say this one is going to run about 10 minutes. By comparison, your usual HHN house is 3 to 4 minutes. So we're talking, about the size of 2 to 3 regular haunted houses put together. It better be pretty long because they are charging, I believe, $37 for it. So, I
Oh.
mean, if it is like a time ticket system where you can just walk up and do the maze and get on with your life, then $37, maybe not awful for the equivalent of 3 haunted houses.
Mhm.
I know I would pay, 10 or $12 a haunted house at HHN to skip the line, if that was an
Yeah, that
option.
is true. Let's get premier access here.
Yeah, that's so, the ticket sales are gonna launch on August 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern, but you can go to their website to join a wait list, be one of the first to purchase when they're available. You can't buy it on site. You gotta do this in advance online. And it's being handled by the same folks who are doing the Beetlejuice Afterlife experience out in California that we've talked about previously.
Yep.
I
Very
wonder if
fun. If I was home, I would definitely go.
one of Jimmy Fallon's nightmares is goes to his own theme park ride and discovers it's open, or it's sorry, discovers it's closed because it had declining GSATs.
Oh, we can
Wonder.
only hope. Maybe some thank you notes.
Thank goodness. All right. And for our last piece of news in the queue, heading over to Six Flags, the chain has had a bunch of new announcements recently, including launching 7 new coasters in 2025, coming out with expanded seasonal events and food and beverage offerings, and most importantly, double, triple confirming, as we've talked about before, that all park passport that is going to have unlimited admission to all 42 parks across the combined Six Flags and Cedar Point chain.
Yes, the
Uh,
price add-on is jaw-dropping affordable. I could not believe it. I was expecting way more.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go through some of these announcements of what's coming to Six Flags parks in 2025, and then talk about the low price that you can enjoy them all for.
Mhm.
We're going to start at Six Flags Great America, where the Wrath of Rakshasa is going to let riders test their limits on a beyond vertical 171-foot drop, making it the steepest dive coaster in the world at 96 degrees. And it's going to hit speeds up to 67 miles an hour, which is going to have a record 5 inversions, making it the most inversions of any dive coaster in the world. So that one is definitely for the thrill seekers out there.
Absolutely. And then we're going to Carowinds in
I say
my
that's your speed.
yes.
Those are your folks.
And the ride too. I had the cool honor of hosting the announcement video for Carowinds. They asked me last month. I was really excited. I love working with them, and they are making their largest investment in family-friendly offerings in its history. And this includes a family steel launch coaster, all
Yeah,
themed
it
to
looks
little
great.
engineer Snoopy, which I love. I love it that they're going to do such a great job with this and just really kind of amp up the offerings there. And they're also doing one of those raft rides. You know, you have the
Hmm.
blasters on board, you have the blasters
Yeah,
on
the splash
land.
battle.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly. So I think that's going to be really cool. And I'm happy they're
great.
amping up the coaster offerings. It'll be 15 now at Carowinds next year.
Wow, wow. Um, and then over at Canada's Wonderland, they are getting a new ride around the Wonder Mountain, which is going to be called Alpenfury. They're going to be blasted up 164 feet vertically through the mountain and experience the tallest, fastest, and longest launch coaster in Canada with 9 inversions. That's the most inversions of any launch coaster in North America, going
Wow.
up to 71 miles an hour. So that one looks pretty intense.
Oh, yes.
We haven't had a good launch coaster coming up through the top of a mountain since they tore down Volcano over at King's Dominion. So.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's definitely going to get me to Canada's Wonderland. That's on my list for a long time. That looks
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, I've never made it out there, but that would definitely be worth checking out. Um, Coming to Six Flags New England, speaking of parks I've never been to either, Quantum Accelerator is going to be a new LSM multi-launch coaster, and it's going to be New England's first straddle coaster. I believe
Ooh.
this is going to be an Intamin, similar in model to Hagrid's, but with a different shape ride vehicle. You're going to have 11 moments of airtime, side-by-side cars designed as motorbikes with a top speed of 45. So that should be a great
That
family
sounds really
ride.
fun. Yeah.
A Raptera over at King's Dominion. I don't know if that qualifies as a family ride because that one's 140 feet tall
No.
and over 3,000 feet long. It's going to be, we talked about this, the longest and tallest launched wing coaster in the world. So that one is going to be pretty wild to celebrate King's Dominion's 50th anniversary season.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for that.
I'm pretty sure I'm not ready for that.
No.
Over at Kings Island, Soak City Water Park, they're getting the River Racers, which is the first and only dual racing water coaster in Ohio with a big 3-story drop. And then uphill sections with a mirrored race course. They're also getting a new kids theme play area and Splash River Junction. That'll have some 7 kids water slides and a splash pad.
Nice. And then now over in Los Angeles, Hurricane Harbor there at Six Flags Magic Mountain, they are doing a significant transformation for their 30th anniversary season. We have new shaded areas, which we always love to see them adding at water parks, seating, cabana, structural refurbishments, landscaping, and then upgraded food and beverage options.
Putting the park in water park.
Yes.
I like to see that. And last but not least, Hurricane Harbor in Arlington, Texas is getting their largest expansion in water park history with the addition of a coastal themed area. It's going to have a massive 58,000 square foot interactive play structure with 110 water features and 7 water slides and 1,000-gallon tipping water bucket. Yikes.
And you need that in Texas because the summer is unbearable.
Brutal. It's going to have a self-play splash pad with family cabanas and refurbished restrooms and restaurants. And so all of these things, plus popular seasonal events like Fright Fest and Halloween Haunt, are all coming back in 2025. So to take advantage of all of these, if you want to hit up all 42 Six Flags theme parks and water parks, if you are a gold or prestige pass holder or member, you're going to be able to purchase what they call the All Park Passport add-on. That's going to include unlimited admission and parking at every single one of these locations.
Wild.
Now, how much would you pay for all of this? Well, it depends on what your initial uh, um, annual pass price is for your home park. That can vary, but once you have that, the add-on is going to be between $65 and $125, depending on
Wow.
where you're buying it and what membership. But
And you know what? I do have to
that,
know, I saw people talking about this online. You may be able to purchase it for the cheapest park to add on. Because I
uh-huh,
think it was Six Flags. Or no, maybe it was Great America up in
hmm
California. I can't remember. But I think you don't have to check into your home park or whatever you buy it for before buying
really,
the add on. But
okay.
we got to see how this
The-
works.
I was gonna say, before you
Yes.
take our advice, be sure to
Please
read
don't. Yes.
all of the fine print,
But I will be
because I
following along
I
because,
know, in the past when they've had similar deals, like you couldn't just buy online for the cheapest park and then take it.
mhm,
When the SeaWorld and Busch Gardens chain had a similar kind of deal, you had to uh, activate it at the park that it was homed at before you could do it elsewhere. I don't know if the same is the case here, so make sure we have a link for
right.
more information. Read all that fine print before you buy. But for between 65 and $125, that's crazy. When you
Crazy.
think that a 1 day pass to a Disney or Universal park now runs about $125.
Yeah, and
Uh,
if you live out in SoCal where you're near Knott's and Magic
mhm.
Mountain, and a lot
For
of people
Knott's
have
and
hold,
Magic Mountain
yeah,
alone, it would be worth it.
absolutely. A lot of people have hold passes to both. So I mean, this is
Yeah,
definitely the way to go. And even if you plan on visiting literally one other park in the year, it's going to pay for itself.
makes me wish that this chain would come somewhere to Central Florida.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Well, that is going to bring us to the end of the news in the queue. Before we jump into this week's main attraction, it's time to hear a word from our sponsors.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and MEI-Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI-Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at mei-travel.com.
It's time for the main attraction!
Well, earlier we were both speculating about when Epic Universe might be open because we are both so hyped for.
Yay! Yes.
And this is one of the reasons we are hyped because we keep getting great footage from our friend in the sky bio reconstruct and others showing the testing, the progress, and it is hard not to get excited when we see all of the major roller coasters out on the tracks cycling. These are not human beings who were decapitated. These are what we call water dummies. This is a crucial step in the process of getting a new ride open, and usually we get to see one of these go up at a time. But seeing so many major roller coasters all going up, all testing at the same time is really exciting.
It is. Oh my God. I mean, I cannot believe about a year from now. Oh, I would say definitely a year from now, we will have ridden all
Oh
these
yeah.
coasters, and that is crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I will really hope, yes, by August of next year for sure. By my next birthday, I will be hopefully celebrating it. Um, so yes, we're going to start out by taking a quick look at the Minecart Madness, which is the Donkey Kong roller coaster. That's probably the most innovative roller coaster at the new park. All the others are kind of proven technology, but the only other thing of its kind like this in the world is supposed to be open by now in Japan. I was hoping it would be open for my trip.
I know.
Looks like it probably won't be. It is testing out there as well. So they've got a year to get this good and broken in, but this is the one that uses a hidden track with a boom arm attached to the ride vehicle to make it look like your minecart is jumping off the tracks and leaping from one track to another. We've seen lots of pictures of this under construction, but I encourage you to go and take a look at some of the videos because watching it in motion is really, really cool. I think this is going to be one of those rides that is maybe not super thrilling G-force wise, but the visuals, whether you're on the ride itself or just watching it, I think the visuals are going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean it looks cool just from these pictures alone.
Yeah.
So I cannot imagine.
Yeah, and you can see how much detail is going in, layers of paint and aging and theming going in all around it. This is definitely going to be a really richly themed coaster, not just a wild mouse in a box for sure.
No, absolutely. And I kind of feel like Seven Dwarf Mine Train vibe with like the
Yeah.
theming, and
hmm
I have a great time at the ride. Obviously not thrilling for the family, but
Yeah.
just really that rich theming.
Yeah, I do think that this is going to feel a little wilder than
Yes.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Although that is pretty wild.
Yeah, it depends on how good you get at swinging.
Yeah.
Next up is Curse of the Werewolf,
Oh,
which is in
so
Dark Universe. And this is a mock spinning coaster. It's a family-friendly spinning coaster. It doesn't do any inversions. It's not like Time Traveler, super crazy. But you're going to get a swing launch inside a barn structure where you'll launch forward and backwards and forward again and pass by an animatronic werewolf as you do. So this one looks like one that's going to be accessible for the whole family, but still got some thrill as it spins coming around the corners.
Yeah, I think this is one of the ones I'm most hyped for.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I do like the spinning coasters, and a Time Traveler is one of my favorites. So
Yeah.
to have the theming and maybe just be a little bit less intense than that, I
Mhm.
cannot wait to ride this.
It is. It's a free spinning coaster. It's not like Guardians of the Galaxy where they're dictating the spin. So depending on how evenly the coaster is weighted or unevenly, since you've got 4 people sitting back to back, you can either barely spin it all with these models, or you can really get some good whips around the corners. So, the important part is to have a person who's much larger than you sit on the opposite side. We can get it unbalanced. So,
Yes.
next up, Hiccup's Wing Gliders in How to Train Your Dragon, the Isle of Berk. That is the family launch coaster there that is going to simulate learning how to ride on the back of a dragon. And we've seen that one out on the track going around with these detailed, ornamented ride vehicles. I love this zero car train here that's looks like kind of a folk art dragon head.
Yeah. And then I don't know if we have this in there, but Universal also shared, I think, a POV video
Yeah,
on social media yesterday of
Yeah.
the other roller coaster.
yeah, they've released a bunch of new footage of Stardust Racers.
Mhm.
There is a Ride Guys where they got
Yes.
to shout out to my buddy Mike. He got to go and check out the queue, and they let them sit in the ride vehicle. And there's a POV, some footage there, and also the Discover Universal podcast put out a a podcast with some little bits, drips of information in it. One of them really confused the heck out of me.
Oh.
So previously, they have said that Stardust Racers, it's posted on the website that it has 5,000 feet of track. On the podcast, the JC, who's I guess the show producer, the director of the ride, said that it is 4,800 feet of track. But he also said that it is the longest roller coaster that Universal has ever created. However, when Hagrid's opened, they publicized that Hagrid's was 5,000. I think it's 5,032, a little over 5,000. So they've always said that Hagrid's was over 5,000. They're saying that this one is between 4,800 and 5,000, but is their longest ever. So I asked my media rep about that, and I have not gotten a response on that yet. Oh well. But my favorite little tidbit that came out in that Stardust Racers podcast, they never mentioned anything about Starfall Racers, which was the original name of the
Originally,
ride
yeah.
that they had to change. But they did mention that the people, the citizens who live in Celestial Park, are called Celestians.
Yes.
Yes, which I thought they were called Epcot Terrans.
Oh my
What
God.
do
I
I
know. I'm like, I can't wait till someone makes some sort of mashup of both of them. I don't know. There's going to be some really good, like, are you an Epcotian or are you a Celestian?
I love it. So beyond the roller coasters, there's also been a lot of installation work on some of the theming. They keep talking about they're putting the park back in theme park, and that includes artwork and sculptures that are being installed, including one of the first spots that you'll see when you walk into the park, which is called Luna Overlook. And they've installed a statue of the goddess who
Ooh.
overlooks this area. And the inscription will read, "The goddess Luna draws the veil across the worlds as colors pale. Her glowing face reflects the light and pulls the stars into the night." Don't read that out while holding a UV lamp, or else Poseidon will open up a gate to the
Right.
Atlantis. Yes, we've got some aerial footage from our friend Bio showing the statue going in, and also showing this beautiful new Pegasus weather vane that they've
Gorgeous.
installed atop Constellation Carousel, which is the mythology, astrology themed carousel going in the middle of the park. It's just one piece of the theming that we're seeing going in all across Epic Universe.
Oh, yeah.
From statues going in around the Minecart Madness ride in Donkey Kong Country, and fake trees going around the Yoshi track.
Yeah.
We're even getting close to the point where we're going to see the marquee installed above Bowser's Castle for the Mario Kart ride. Everything really coming along fast. Even Dark Universe is looking aged and decrepit in a really lovely way.
That is what we want to see.
It's all coming together so fast, which makes it so agonizing to think that, official opening might not be a year away. But I'm excited for them to get it all right and polished and working in perfect condition before the general paying public goes in. So I wanted them to have time to get it right.
We both volunteer as tribute.
No, I volunteer tribute. Yes, yeah, I will be a guinea pig. I will. Yes, I will ride a half-built ride 20 times in a row.
I'm gonna crash test dummy.
Well, before we wrap this thing up, it is time for us to take a look back at some of the comments that you folks left us in the queue. And we've got a few folks who just wanted to say hi.
Hello.
Sonia Penhoya. I'm sorry, I mispronounced your last name. Someone else who I can't pronounce, Shattenguichus. Okay.
Wow.
Hey. Michael Hack. Hello.
Hello.
Michael Bingham, as always, saying hello. He's excited about Hurricane Harbor's 30th anniversary updates, and took his mom to the preview center this past Friday at City Walk. It is pretty overwhelming. I'm glad you got to pick up that freestyle tumbler. Go Epic Universe.
Yes.
All right. Thank you to all of you who watched and left comments. Before we go, we want to thank our sponsors, MEI and MEI-Travel, once more. And remind all of you, please give us a rating or review if you listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever. And of course, give us a like and subscribe here on YouTube if you're watching our live stream. Be sure to follow us at attractionsmagazine.com. Search Attractions Magazine on your favorite social media platforms. And Carly, let folks know where they can find you on the interwebs.
Yes, I am on Instagram at Adventures by Carly, and I am on X at Carly Caramata.
I, of course, am at Eskuberski and at The Unofficial Guides. And if you head on over to theunofficialguides.com, you can pick up a brand new copy of The Unofficial Guide to Disneyland 2025, hot off the presses. All right. Well, until next time, I hope that you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun. We will see you again next time.
Bye.
Bye.